Hello and welcome to Accenture presents the Economic Times and Femina FemTech Summit powered by Adobe, wherein women leaders discuss the latest development in the technology space and share inspiring stories. On this special episode, we bring you an exclusive event highlight. First up, we bring you a special conversation with Smriti Zubin Irani, Union Minister of Women and Child Development, Government of India, on empowering women for inclusive growth.
Somehow there is this impression that women and tech don't go along and it turns into a vicious circle. How can this impression be addressed?
There's a presumption that most coders are men and have always been men. There is a presumption that most innovations have happened only by men. Historically, the challenge has been that when a woman experiments or innovates, there is less support available for her to transition that innovation into a commercial prospect. If you look at the base and the foundational challenge, that resides in the inclination of young girls towards STEM, science and mathematics. You will see that most complex problems that evolve post grade 8 are problems for which young boys are very happily put up with extra educational support. Very few opportunities come where aggressively parents stand behind the female child getting that extra educational support. Today in the government, we take a lot of cause to celebrate the fact that the number of STEM graduates in India who are female are coming very close to the number of male STEM graduates. In fact, we are doing better than many developed nations like the US. The issue is, what do girls aspire to? So they always see male leadership in academic institutions, especially when they are technological in nature, technical in nature. Then they go out and see in business and enterprise, male leadership in innovative technology-based companies. And I think that is where this conversation of prejudice gets heightened. The government has progressed from Mudra Yojana to stand up, to take the value of support to a female-led business from 50,000 rupees to 1 crore rupees. The issue is, have we created enough opportunity in corporate India? How many of us have made the conscious effort of taking women from the SME segment to the mid-sized company segment? How many of us have created opportunities for females who own mid-sized enterprises to be unicorns, or for that matter, to be big corporations? The government has stepped up. Can industry?
Thank you very much as always, Ms. Smriti Irani. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have a keynote address on thriving in the digital-first era by Pratibha Mohapatra, Vice President and Managing Director, Adobe India.
To win, businesses must have an innate understanding of the evolving customer needs. Companies need to make the best use of insights obtained from experimentation and data to create wow experiences. Each time, every time, across any medium. Everyone is a creator. And creators now have the necessary tools at the disposal required to produce top-class content, sitting anywhere, anytime. The businesses that are staying ahead innovate, compete, and win using experimentation and digital insights. They keep coming to the customers, and they keep the customer at the center of everything. They are embracing the creators. If you are not taking this seriously, you're not going to succeed. Brands must participate by creating content with the same agility, relevance, and originality as individuals do. Digital experiences are transforming how people connect, work, learn, and play. The acceleration of digital has put a sense of urgency on every company and institution around the globe to become a digital business. So India is moving up the GDP ladder, and there's a vision to be a $5 trillion economy. And of this $5 trillion, $1 trillion is going to be contributed by digital. YouTube finds its highest active user bases in India at an estimated 325 plus million unique monthly viewers. Adobe India education team is working closely with schools to promote digital literacy and creativity skills to benefit students, educators, and institutions across K-12 and higher education for initiatives like Digital India, accelerating India's new education policy, and upskilling and reskilling of the workforce to close the gap of 90 million by 2030. Thank you very much.
At Accenture, we believe the future of workforce is an equal one. And our commitment to equality starts right at the top with our CEO and our board of directors. We made a very early global commitment to achieving a gender balanced workforce by 2025. And we are very proud to say that in India today, we are close to 46% on our target of being a gender balanced workforce by 2025. There are several programs which enable our women to uptake skills which will be high in demand. For instance, we have a flagship program called as High Tech Women and Quantum Edge, which is actually targeted at mid-level career women to be able to learn technology and have a high-performing tech career. Similarly, most recently, we launched a program called as Cyber Her, which is a 12-week program to train women on cybersecurity. We are growing our AI and data and analytics skills with world-class training and learning assets and experiences. We've also gone ahead and built significant partnerships with institutes like Alan Turing Institute, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and UC Berkeley Institute of Data Science to enable our employees to get deep skills on some of these path-breaking technologies. My advice to those women pursuing careers in technology is develop a career strategy. Be comfortable with the change and stay agile. Raise your hand and volunteer yourself for challenging assignments.
Welcome back. In our next session, we bring you a fireside chat on how cloud is enabling businesses to innovate.
Cloud has become an integral part, of our businesses today. Can you throw a little bit on light on how Mahindra's cloud journey has been, and what are the benefits you are experiencing or expect?
So fundamentally, Mahindra's cloud journey is about leveraging cloud to accelerate our strategy, and the strategy is aligned to business growth. Fundamentally, that's the core of it, right? Now, our tech strategy for business is around digital, it is around data, modernization, and cybersecurity. I would say, large 4 pillars. The driving factors are plentyfold. Whether it is agility and setting up digital platforms, as I said, every business is all about digital now. New agile working models, setting up, fast and first time right innovation, innovative environments, enhanced customer experience, employee experience. We're equally excited about employee experience as well. All of this being enabled by cloud. We're moving to cloud not just as a geography change. It is about transforming from an architecture perspective to build microservices architecture, APIs, and we are modernizing from front to back, from customer facing layer all the way to core transaction layer. So we have agility in everything we do.
Thank you, Rucha, for taking the time out.
Next, we have a thought leaders tech discussion on how tech-led women leaders are shaping a better tomorrow.
Yatra.com was at the top of the game, and then COVID struck. What did you do to sustain the business and the team? What kind of skills did you think come in handy?
We took an inward look, and for 3 or 4 months, we occupied our workforce in changing every process that we had. Automation. We spoke to our clients and we said, okay, this is the new processes that we are going to go under, kept our customers engaged as to new things. Now, we also realized that our partners like our corporates and our hotels are also, maybe the hotels, there are loads of hotels in a smaller city who have no access to, facilities or no access. So we made sure that we build services to them also. So what is new things that we can do? What is another service that we can get into? So Yatra for Freight, it's something that we started off. We started off new lines of business, and then we looked at doing business in a new way. And I think that, kept our customers engaged, kept us engaged. And when we look back now, volumes are coming back. We are more stronger now.
What is it that you are doing to make the world better for the women of today, right? So, or the women of tomorrow?
I guess wherever I have the influence, whether it is in the startups that I have or the boards that I sit on, I try and ensure that right there and then I'm able to support diversity, support the right talent, and also go out of my way to mentor women. I have started a program which is about creating entrepreneurs, especially women entrepreneurs in the rural areas in the area of healthcare. So that's a program that we are calling it Community Health Entrepreneurs. And we have started pilots. About 100 such women are being trained at various parts of the country.
I hope that everybody who's watched this have gotten a lot of ideas and a lot of strength in how do they shape a better tomorrow. So thank you, everyone.
Moving on, we bring you a panel discussion on female talent in STEM, inspiring the next-gen women leaders.
We constantly hear that one of the major reasons why women are deterred from getting into or majoring in STEM subjects is primarily because of the popularly held beliefs or myths about women not having a science and math brain, or it doesn't fit their gender role expectations, etc., etc. Is it really that deters women? And what could be the enablers or influencers to change?
I think there's really nothing that deters girls or women in general, right, about the math and science brain. There's nothing that can't be learned. But however, generally the trend in people and girls as well, you can classify, is that they just, whatever they're more familiar or comfortable with is what they ended up choosing to study, right? And so it starts right from the very beginning of where the girl is most comfortable with. And so I think it starts there. I don't think we should really, categorize it as being a math or science brain. And I think the other thing is also introspect for all of us and see where are the changes that we can bring in simple actions, simple things that we take back with us and we can apply to our daily life and realize what is it that we are sending out and stopping girls from becoming more familiar with it. They need to get more comfortable with technology from an early age. Now, there are also another, other side of it is what does the ecosystem do? So, companies and organizations like your forum today, kind of brings these kind of issues to the forefront, and we discuss it and we realize, hey, maybe I'm doing something differently. I could make a change.
Yeah, it would be interesting to hear from Sarah on this. You represent a different geography, Sarah.
As many of you would be aware, Australia, it's an advanced economy, a Western culture with actually a highly educated population where, in fact, women are graduating with degrees at higher rates than men. But in every other dimension as measured in the kind of global gender gap index, we've actually been going backwards, and that's been a trend for the last 15 years. And I know we're talking about STEM today, but at a fundamental level, I think what would help is if we were able to abandon those broader gender stereotypes. I think that would help to change perceptions and see women better represented in STEM fields.
Next up, we have a special address on CMOs' top priorities by Dipti Singh, Head Marketing and Communications, Vertiv India.
In this scenario today, we need to reassert, we need to rebuild, we need to reinvent. Okay, why this is necessary? We all know because everything keeps on changing today. Again, change is the only constant. So the very first priority of a CMO is to rebuild the marketing engine for flexibility in this changing environment. We have all heard about digital transformation from the past 2 decades, the entire world, the globe, and India as a country is doing a lot in terms of digital transformation. But what do we reinvent every day what we do, right? That becomes a strategy building priority of a CMO. Then the adaptive strategies. As the business organizations, they understand that the strategies are they are going to change. The 2-year or the 3-year strategy is going to change. The way we need to adapt the strategies, which is laid by an organization at the start of the year, and we need to adapt it, update it, implement it every now and then, every month, every quarter, we need to adapt these strategies. And that is where you value add to the enterprise. Finally, the key implementation areas. Now, with what top priorities we just spoke about, there's always how you measure your KPIs. There has to be a universal marketing measurement. You need to define your role not only as a chief marketing officer, but as a chief connecting officer. I say it is CCO, okay? CCO is sub-function of a CMO. And how do you become a connecting officer? We'll see that. And then hybrid marketing. How do we bring together? How do we address the gaps between traditional and the digital revolution what we have, So we need to do a hybrid marketing. It's not going to work anymore. You go only digital and you go only traditional.
Welcome back. Moving on, we have marketers talk on new marketing strategies, building blocks for shaping customers' journey in the new normal.
The personal connection and the trust with the brand is something that is very important right now, and how customers or consumers relate to the brand. Over the past 2 years, we've shifted totally to digital, now hybrid. Over the last 6 months, I don't know about your experience, but we started a bit more entertaining physical events in our marketing strategy. But the most important thing that we've all learned is that we cannot rely on long-term planning anymore. We have to be very tactical, very strategic approach, using social media, using influencer marketing, using a lot of the personal approach. We're back a lot relying on email marketing or mobile messaging, radio marketing and advertising. So maybe looking into things that actually worked previously, but we haven't used it for a long while.
I just want to echo what Ramila has mentioned about the new, a fusion of the new and what has worked previously coming together, because what was in the old where we have direct mailers, that is a human experience, that is the human touch. Trust is definitely important. Once something gets hacked, trust goes down, we lose trust in the brand. And also trust happens when you step in the shop to get something essential. The next thing you know, that price has actually gone up. In such endemic times, when consumers and customers start seeing what the organization that they are loyal to are doing good things and benefiting the people, that will increase the trust, that will increase the collaboration.
For me, performance and brand go hand in hand. So as I see it, if you look at performance marketing, marketing is no longer just about the data. So we used to talk about customer centricity. I would say marketing is now evolved to become human-centric. What that means is, and how it's different, is that we no longer think of our audience as just customers, right? We see them as partners in an increasingly personal relationship that we're all trying to build. So you have to see it from a human centricity point of view and not just a customer centricity. So that's why you build honest relationships. And this can happen only when you have a story that you're telling through your brand. So with the right vision and the right technology to support that vision. So the vision is the brand side of things, the technology is the performance side of things. You can now stitch it together, harness that data, and streamline customer journeys like never before.
Up next, we have a fireside chat on power of ecosystems for the success of women in tech.
There is an increased digital adoption, which is transforming the tech industry very, very rapidly today. So how do you see this evolution redefining opportunities for women in the technology space?
With data and analytics taking the lead, right, as emerging technologies, what's happened is that it's essentially opened up a whole plethora of opportunities, and there is growth in the presence of women data scientists across data, AI, digital twin technologies. And there's genuinely a more support in the ecosystem for women pursuing their careers in data science, and increasing more support from everybody around is only going to go a really long way, right? It's all of these opportunities, like I was saying, that have essentially given women, more space to play in, right? So now it's beyond business analysts, beyond project manager roles, and they can engage in deeper technology architecture roles and beyond. Thank you for the opportunity, and good luck to everyone that's listening in.
Our next fireside session focuses on role of inclusivity and diversity at the workplace.
Being diverse is one and being inclusive is the other. Diversity is a number game. Inclusion is not a number game. So what's your reaction to that one?
No, I completely agree. I mean, just having the people there, is different from them having a voice. Several years ago, when we were in a boardroom, about 25, 30 of us, and we were discussing what would be our Diwali promo campaign. And everybody was pitching in their ideas, from founders to business heads, etc. And the idea actually that we went with is the idea that came from an intern. I think that is sort of inclusion.
So if you look at diversity, it's the representation of different people in an organization. What is inclusion? Inclusion is ensuring that everyone has an equal opportunity to contribute, to influence every part at the workplace. So that happens when you can acknowledge an idea or a contribution based on what it is, not whom or where it came from. And this is what Upasana said, right? And from an organizational perspective, I think the key in maintaining diversity is gender balance among the core leadership. So true equality is creating equal opportunities for everybody.
Moving on, we bring you a Power Pack panel discussion on leveraging digital ecosystem for accelerating business growth.
Reema, data is the new fuel for this economy. So what have been your insights on data specifically to enable a digital journey?
The customers want everything in a real time, and they also expect personalization. They want more contextual experiences and want to feel special. And these are some of the important elements as we are building digital journey. And this can only be possible with data and insights, right? This data and insights ultimately will help us to listen to our customer effectively, making us create a 360-degree view of the customer and helping us to provide that experience which they are looking at.
What do you think, promotes a culture of experimentation, Ekta?
In your digital transformation journey, you will have a lot of time. You will need to validate your hypothesis for your end customers. And the experimentation always comes with two things, right? Success and failures. I believe they are twins. In order to validate this hypothesis, as leaders, what we need to do is create a safety net for our people so that they are comfortable failing.
Gopali, you have a lot of experience from saying, okay, how do I make talent fit for future? What are your thoughts on that?
We absolutely have a very strong learning framework that is available to all our employees across Accenture, and Accenture spends a lot of money kind of building out the right sort of trainings, even in terms of social good, right? So bringing in the diversity piece in it. We're also supporting women from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds to train up and come up to par. We are able to do that due to the technology itself to kind of upskill people.
Geeta, over to you.
Data, I think, is like fuel to the digital transformation. And the data collection, the security aspects of it, how do you do the analytics of it, and how do you build the right application? Looking at the experimentation part of it, continuously learning on what is the right fit, etc., is also a competence and a capability that you need to develop. It doesn't come easy, right? Failing is sometimes not very comfortable in organization, but that's a very, very important to learn with failures.
Next, we have a fireside chat on women in tech, equality in a post-COVID era.
Why there seems to be so much of a leakage when it comes to women who are entering STEM-related work roles. If you look at STEM graduates in India, female graduates with the highest anywhere in the world compared to even so-called developed markets like the US and Canada, at about 43% but the number of women who then enter roles related to these educational, what they've studied is only at about 14%. Why is that gap happening according to you?
Today, there is a lot of consciousness about promoting diversity, ensuring that women get an equal chance. But you have to be very deliberate about it. In the sense, in our company, in Salesforce, for instance, after the merit increases have happened, we see what percentage of women based on the base of people who are eligible and what percentage of men have made it, and whether that is equivalent or not. If not, why not? Go a little deeper, dig a little deeper. Similarly, for the promotions, are we doing the right thing for the number of people that we have? And the last but not least, I think, is policy itself. We have maternity leave. Why do we not have maternity leave? We should have that. The private sector, we already have it. Our company, for instance, provides paternity leave, but we should extend that to the public sector as well.
In our next session, we have a closing keynote address on Women in Technology, Grow, Connect and Empower by Dr. Neeta Verma, Director General for National Informatics Centre, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India.
Women have carved out specific and relevant role for themselves in every chapter of Indian history. However, lesser women representation in technology is a concern today. In the initial years of their family lives, it is often noted that many of the young women quit their jobs to take care of their family, and in the past it was quite difficult to resume or return to their jobs. However, it is heartening to see that today companies have adopted practices to help women through initiatives such as flexi hours, come after break, special leaves. These initiatives will help women in big way to continue careers in technology and other professions. Further, the domain of emerging technologies present a massive opportunity for women to narrow down the gender gap by leveraging the technology wave to build careers in various fields, including artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, IoT, blockchain, augmented reality, conversational AI, and so on.